Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the phone, guys. So finally, the gaming beast from Asus is here. The Asus ROG Phone 5 and a Pro and Ultimate. So the Asus has unleashed the ROG Phone 5 series. The gaming flagship has been redesigned to improve performance and ergonomics, and now come in a multiple flavor with the ultimate edition supporting 18 gigs of RAM. Let's break down the different version. The non-pro Asus ROG Phone 5 has a three main configuration or version A, B and C. Asus calls them. The difference between them is the memory configuration. A has a 12 gigs or 16 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs storage. B adds a basic 8 gigs and 128 gigs model, and C come in 8 and 128 gigs and 12 and 256 gig configuration. Note that most models use UFS 3.1 storage. Expect that the version C phone and the 128 gig version B model. Was this too much technically talk? No, of course not. Gaming phone like gaming PCs are all about the specs. Next up, the Asus ROG Phone 5 Pro, which has a single memory option, 16 gigs of DDR5 RAM and 512 gigs UFS storage. Finally, the Asus ROG Phone 5 Ultimate increases the RAM to the record equaling 18 gigs. Storage remains is 512 gig. There is a no 1 TB option and no micro SD slot. All three are powered by the Snapdragon 888 chipset. No surprise here, Asus designed it that the phone to have a performance advantage thanks to their component, and surprisingly the biggest win come from the battery. It has a 6000 mAh total capacity split between two cells. This split allowed Asus to position the motherboard closer to the center of the phone, which has a two advantages. First, it allowed the Aero Active Cooler 5 to get as close to the chipset as possible. Second, the heat that is the produced is keep away from the user finger. The split design also allowed the company to double the charging speed of 65 volt. As before, you can use the USB Type-C port on the bottom of the phone for charging for the USB Type-C port on the side. So this side port can also be used to hop up an external monitor or HDMI to connect headphone or to power the Aero Active Cooler 5. We will get back to the cooler in a second, but look at the display. The Asus ROG Phone 5 goes big with a 6.78-inch Samsung made AMOLED display, up from 6.59 on its predecessor. It has a HDR10 Plus certified and has a 111% coverage of the DCI-P3 color specs, 151% of RGB, and it's a brightener than the OLED display, achieving 800 nits, and that is a full white display. The resolution and refresh rate remain 1080p plus and 144 Hz, while the touch sampling rate is gone up to 300 Hz. And according to Asus, the touch latency is 24.3 ms. A note about that, the resolution, there is no adaptive refresh rate in the display, can run 60, 120 and 144 Hz. So the screen is protecting by Gorilla Glass Victus and has a special coating that keep your fingering gliding effortless even if they get sweaty. So despite increasing the screen diagonal, Asus managed to shave 25% of the bezel, so the ROG Phone 5 is only couple of millimeter tailorer and actual a millimeter narrower than its predecessor. Weight is essentially that the same is 238 grams. The Pro and Ultimate version will come bundled with the Aero Active Cooler 5. When Asus tested, it found that the fan reduced surface temperature by 15 degrees centigrade and chipset temperature by 10 degrees centigrade. The cooler also packed two physical and a shoulder button, a 3.5mm headphone jack and kickstand. Without the cooler, you still get shoulder button, the Air Trigger 5 ultrasonic button. These can be used as a shortcut outside of game too by squeezing the phone in portrait mode. If you want more accessory, the ROG Aqneo 3 gamepad is compatible with the ROG Phone 5. So the ROG Clip will allow you to use PS4, Xbox or Stadia controller if you have one handy. There is also a professional dock with an HDMI port and a 2 USB port. The twin view dock 3 is not supported. There is not much to say about the camera aside from it's the same. The main module has a same 64 megapixel quad wire sensor with 2 by 1 OCL autofocus. The lens aperture remains f1.8. Next up, 13 megapixel ultra wide camera, still without autofocus. Finally, there is a 5 megapixel macro camera. The selfie camera is essential that the same 24 megapixel sensor and a dimmer fixed focus. The main rear camera can record 8K at 30 fps video and a 4K at 60 fps. Video stabilization is electronic. The camera is clearly not that the focus of the Asus ROG Phone 5, but an excellent advisable experience is. To that end, there is a 3.5mm headphone jack on board. The ESS Sibera Pro Quad DAC, the classic GAMP, automatically detects that the impedance of your headphones and switches to the appropriate mode. Also on board are front firing stereo speaker powered by the two Circus Logic, each of which can deliver 21% more power to its speaker that on the previous generation. If you want to use Bluetooth speaker or a headset, instead aptX adaptive LDAC and AAC codec are supported. We need to go back to the difference between the three models again. The non-Pro phone has a RGB backlight Republic of a gamer's logo, same as the 2020 phone. The other two have a small touch enabled display on the back due to ROG Vision. The ROG Phone 5 Pro has a color PMO LED display, while this supposedly fancier Ultimate model has a monochrome PMO LED display. The display shows customizable graphic for incoming calls during charging or while a game is loading. The three models are launching with Android 11 out of the box and give you a choice between using the gaming inspired ROG UI or the stock like Zen UI. Here are the price of the three main versions of the Asus ROG Phone 5. Note that the Pro and Ultimate come bundled with the Aero Active Cooler 5, while the non-Pro model get only the Aero case and hypercharger. The Asus ROG Phone 5 available in €800 for 8 gigs and 128 gig storage, and the Pro available in 16 gig and 512 gig storage for a €1200. The Ultimate available for 18 gigs of RAM and 512 gigs of storage in €1300. So this is the full price chart. As you can see, let me know in the comment section, are you like this new gaming smartphone from Asus, and also like this video and subscribe my channel for more tech videos. I'll see you in my next video. Peace out.